Okay, everyone, I hope you're doing well. Listen, the shutdown. Let's talk about how it could affect Section A. Let's go ahead and listen to this clip. Very interesting. Workers being furloughed, federal workers are IRS, the list goes on and on. Then the essential workers, some of them are, some workers are having to still report. Oh, and they won't get paid. Then we've got the 2019 law that says, hey, the workers have to get back pay. The White House is now saying, back pay is not a guarantee. But the trickle down effect, check this out. Unbelievable.
This current government shutdown that we're under is affecting a lot of different things. From TSA workers simply not showing up to work because they won't be paid, to federal workers waiting for the next check to come because they won't be paid either. And for those under Section 8 housing, you may not get your Section 8 housing paid next month if this shutdown continues. Most housing authorities across the country receive a check from the government to pay different households Section 8 housing. Housing authorities got their last check on September 30th, and they're relying on whatever sort of savings they have to pay for November's rent. Some of them have that extra money, but some of them don't. And for those housing authorities that don't have the extra money to pay November rent, the landlords who accept Section 8 housing will not get any check, and that impacts them too. The last government shutdown only lasted for 30 something days, so it is expected to end by the end of this month or a little after that, but of course, there's no guarantee. Specifically in Central Texas, I spoke to the Central Texas Council of Governments earlier this week, and they pay rent for more than 2,000 households. And they receive up to $2.3 million to pay for Section 8 housing here in Central Texas. They're okay right now. They paid their October rent for their households, and then they have just enough money to cover November, according to their executive director. But the hope is, again, this shutdown ends as soon as possible so Section 8 housing won't be impacted and people won't be, I don't want to say homeless, but unhoused or just have to find somewhere else to go.
Yep. Imagine what would happen then to the mom and pop that also I used to be a landlord, uh, rental property. What would happen to the mom and pop that's also counting on a check from the government to pay the Section A? Some of them went out to a Section A person. They're counting on that. So how is a mom and pop person who inherited a house or bought another house to try and, earn some money, all of a sudden they've got to pay their mortgage and the mortgage on the Section A property that's been leased out to a Section A tenant? What are they supposed to do? Come up with two mortgages? What about the people? There are elderly people, they have these government programs, because I know someone and their family member has it, and they bring you a meal a day. I thought, wow, that's interesting. Every day they come with a meal. Government shutdown. What if that elderly person has no one and they're counting on that meal and the meal doesn't come? What happens then? Go without eating? Now, surely I would imagine no one's going to file, I would hope not, eviction. We know what's going on. The government shutdown. Wouldn't file an eviction to get the person out. But don't forget, too, some of these landlords are in a bad place. Imagine all the layoffs. People had good jobs, engineers, teachers. Man, doctors and nurses have been laid off. If they want that property back because they cannot afford their current lifestyle where they're currently living, this could be a good avenue to get another person out. So if a person is on a Section 8 voucher, government is paying that money, a part of the rent, a major part of the rent. This could be that way to get that person out. And the renter will be just stuck out to no fault of their own and could have an eviction on their credit. Oh, good luck getting a renter someplace else. Who in the heck has money from working class, middle class alone on a Section 8 voucher to go ahead, and get a new place to live, a new house, a new apartment? A new what? Deposit first and last month. TSA workers not showing up. And then there are some workers, I think that they're not the essential workers. There are some workers that have been furloughed, but guess what? Some of them, they still have to go to work and they're not getting paid. That's what they're saying. They just showed a report. People showed up at a news report, showed up at a government office, and guess what? Somebody had already gotten the email. Other people had no idea. Oh, yeah, they got the email when they got there. Look at the trickle down effect. So if IRS furloughs, so from housing, IRS. What if someone's still waiting on a refund or a correction? Housing, the IRS, Section A. Uh-oh. Well, if the Section A, if the housing vouchers are not processed to pay people's rent for rental assistance, what about the food stamps? A lot of people on these food stamps is not because, okay, so let's see, the budget for food stamps, let's say for a family, maybe it's 700 a month, and the family can only afford 500 a month. Okay, let's say if that's the deal. Okay, let's say if that is the deal, and they're getting maybe, I'm gonna guess, supplemental $200 a month. They can squeeze on by, but what if it's an individual or a family where they are relying on those food stamps to determine not how much they can afford to eat? No, 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 no. Sometimes that can be the deciding factor if they're going to even eat. They're relying on those food stamps. So if the government shuts down and they can't get those, what are they supposed to do? This is where we are. The prior government shutdown, I believe that was in 2018, lasted about 30 to 35 days. Yeah, it was a month and a couple of days. I think it was 35 days. The economy wasn't as bad as it is now. Inflation, that was 2018. Um, Inflation is not as bad as it is now. Are you kidding me? 7 years ago, they were saying post pandemic. Oh, most people can't afford $1,000 emergency if they had one. Then it went down to most people can't afford a $400 emergency if they had one. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. We're in 2025. It's worse. People are going to work. I've seen videos. They don't even have 100 or not even $50. I've seen people having families and okay, paid all the bills and bought grocery for the next 2 weeks and got a big old $17 left. Uh-oh, somebody had less than $5 left. Gee, Starbucks closing now, laying off people. 2025 is like a year of just trying to survive. So we cannot afford another government shutdown that happened, I believe, in 2018. We don't have 30 days. People are already freaking out a week two. And then the workers, well, you're thinking, okay, I'll get one more paycheck. Yeah, about that. People already check paycheck to paycheck. Can't afford to miss one. But hey, the powers that be, they're going to be okay, as if there's some kind of comfort. Everybody gets bailed out except the American, the hardworking American. Yeah, that's my opinion. They bail out Wall Street, they bail out the banks, all that money, saving billions with the tariffs. Well, the farmers getting bailed out. And Wall Street, the farmers, the banks, you know who the common denominator is getting bailed out? Call it what I'm a realist. White males. Brad is being bailed out, but it's got to be Brad in those categories. If you're just Brad, everyday working day Brad on a job, or you just with the, yeah, you good luck to you and yours. Yeah, you're not part of it. But it's certain ones been bailed out. Again, the bankers, Wall Street. Good luck to everyone on Main Street. Now they're bailing out the farmers with money from billions of dollars taken in from the tariffs. Good luck to the rest of us on Main Street. The shutdown. can literally shut down the lives of the American people. Let me know what you all think. The nightmare continues. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out.